Hello everybody, Blue Dooley, and we finally have the Redcat 53 COE hauler on the bench to do an unboxing. Except if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you already know it's been unboxed. Got my RC Cola, so we're just gonna yank this thing out of the box and go over what comes with it. And I got a little driving footage. It's currently raining outside. And I believe the electronics are water resistant, but it's such a nice looking truck. I really don't want to get it out in the rain and the muck. So yeah, we're just going to yank the box off and show you what's inside. That easy. Everybody's seen unboxings, and most professionals have even shown you up close of the box. Now, I already have a light bar on the truck. This doesn't come with it, but the truck Redcat sends you is absolutely gorgeous. I love the looks of this thing. Comes in the blue and it comes in red. I have already installed their servos to make it lay frame, and I have driven it around a little bit. The radio it comes with is actually really nice. It is a 4-channel and it fits in my hand pretty well. Easy to drive one-handed. Now, as I said, we'll get into it here in a little bit, but I already replaced these with the servos for the lay frame kit. The truck does come with the metal servo horns specific for this truck. You also, of course, get ramps, which do actually extend, and they've got some heft to them. They're not cheap plastic by any stretch of the imagination. And also off to the side comes with some rubber band, some rubber tie downs. And actually has special hooks to go on those. And then you also get 4 of these wheel chocks that when I get the camera closer here, you'll actually see there's some holes in the chassis already, or this deck already, to put these in. And you might also notice that this stack is missing because this panel on this side, I actually left it and the stack off so you can actually see in here, kind of see how the lay frame servos work. I already have the body clips out so we can remove the cab. But yeah, let me grab you, we'll get a little closer look. This truck is so pretty. They did a phenomenal job with it. The plastics feel real nice. The springs are quite stiff, front and rear. The differential is really smooth. As I've said, I have driven it a little bit, and this light bar I have for my Trick RC is motion activated, so if it sits for a certain amount of time, it changes what functions it does, and then when you start moving again, it'll go back to just a regular flash bar, which we'll show you here in a little bit. But the stock brush system in this and the ESC they provide, it's actually smooth enough you can kind of creep this thing out and not get this to register that it's moving, so it'll stay in that parked function. Really kind of cool. Actually, we'll spin it around. And this thing is gigantic. Keep in mind that I'm 6 feet tall, so this thing's 36 inches long, I believe I measured it. And I'll have to probably aim some lights so you can actually see in here because it's all black. Let's get the camera and we'll get you a closer look. We'll throw a battery in it. And also, I should mention, it does come with directions. I think actually at the moment that is my only kind of gripe about the truck. is it has just a single page of directions and a QR code. This actually doesn't tell you how to install the lowering kits for the lay frame servos. It does tell you how to put the caps on the wheels and how the ramps and stuff work, but that's my only disappointment, Redcat, is this instruction manual is kind of. Now it does have some separate instructions here. All fold out sheet for the electronic speed controller. This is 2S capable. Yeah, 2S LiPo or 6L nickel metal. And then also came with some decals to put doors on the bed here. That isn't there anymore at the moment. It has some nice pin striping. And then if you don't want chrome boxes, they actually come with just the outline. So the boxes will stay back. You've got more pin striping, some logos and things, and the decals look really, really nice. Like I said, the only thing I'm a little down on is the instruction manual there could be more to it. But as someone who isn't a good painter, having pin striping all ready to go, that's a pretty sweet deal. So let me get you, and we'll get closer to the truck. Get some more light out to really properly show this thing off. The grill and all the chrome pieces are really nicely molded. The chrome seems real nice. The visor already got licked by the dog. So that Trex was getting nose prints on the truck while I was sitting in the office. Nice mirrors. Like, these wheels are super nice. Center cap. Hardware. The stacks are a couple pieces. This main stack splits in half. This little clamp here will slide off, and then this roll out, or turn out, will come off. The interior, I don't know if we're going to get enough light in there for you to see it properly. But there are gauges on the dash. Again, the detail on the truck is really nice. All the plastic feels, the Lexan feels nice. Like I said, these steps have some mass to them. And then here on the back, it has places to put the wheel chocks, hang your straps from. Like I said, the light bar does not come with the truck. This is a My Trick RC piece. We'll get into that a little bit. It does have a cover for the battery tray, which is kind of covered up by this faux winch, which I believe you can put a winch on there. And this truck is huge. And then here on the back, LEDs. It actually has ramp storage underneath the bed. Should actually grab both of them, but and they are one for each side, so they fit nicely. Again, they extend in one-handed. So actually, when the truck's, if you don't have the lay frame servos on it, it's actually a fairly just consistent ramp up. We'll put the battery in it and get it to lay frame. So the truck actually comes with a T-plug or Dean's plug already wired in, which is perfectly fine for me, as I'll turn that radio up loud enough. As all my batteries, I have an adapter to go from a XT60 to a Dean's plug, or on a couple of my nickel matter batteries, they already have a Dean's plug on them. Tuck those in there. This also has, it's pretty much anti-slip tape, like you might see on forklift steps or maybe on door treads. So it's actually got nice texture to it. So it should have plenty of traction for your cars or trucks to turn on. Yeah. Now let's move the camera for a minute. Scoot the truck over here. And we'll get you closer to the Redcat radio. Like I said, steering reverse, bind, throttle reverse, steering trim, throttle trim, and steering APA, which I believe is just endpoint adjustment. And then here you can see the button to turn on the LED on the front of the controller. Channel 4, and then channel 3 is, like I said, momentary switch, and then a 3-position switch. It also has a battery box and like a little compartment tray. Not sure what goes in there, but again, it's a nice radio. Fits in my hand really well. I can easily drive it one-handed, but I have big hands. And then like I said, it does have nice, quick, responsive steering servo, and it actually uses the same servo for the lay frame kit. So let me turn the truck around and you'll be able to see kind of how that lay frame kit works. And we'll also get the cab off. I got you in a little closer. Like I said, this metal, put my hand in the way of the light. That metal servo horn actually comes in the truck. These servos do not. It's $45. It comes with both servos and a Y harness to just plug it in to the receiver. And because of the way the servo only has to keep that thing level, all of the weight pushes in against itself. The links and stuff, when we get to them, they're stout, but as you can see, just rotates that 90 degrees and the truck's on its frame and picks it up just as easily. I keep getting my hand in the light, but the plastics are quite rigid. They feel really, really nice. Actually, everything on the truck feels nice. They put in a lot of work into the truck, and you can tell. So, 4-channel receiver, really tiny little guy tucked up in here. X-Fly, their own speed controller, and then a big 550 45 turn motor in it. So here is the Y harness. And then this little guy here is an Electroc RC switch. This actually just goes from 3 servo wires to 2 power wires for things like the light bar. I got that from Hobby Concepts. The light bar is from My Trick RC. And I have it just on the 3-position switch at the moment. And after the truck sits here for a little bit, I have it programmed so it does the arrows and then the work lights come on. Now, as you can see, it is sitting at an angle because this piece isn't it isn't as thick as it was. So I actually needed to drill the holes just a little bit forward because the screws are actually go down so far and then they hit more plastic and kind of twist it a little bit. But I'm going to get that mounted again a little differently. But I am happy with that. With that light bar, I have it on the grand hauler as well. And just turn it off. Nice rods for the lift servos. Again, all of this plastic here. It feels real nice. It is solid plastic. The front end is actually an I-beam front end with some holes punched through it, kind of like speed holes to make it lighter. The Hexfly HXTS servo for steering. It does have metal ball ends on all the rods. These springs are quite stiff. A nice metal chassis. And then we'll tip it over here. And you can see lots of rigidity in this. It is a 2-piece chassis, so this center plate kind of bolts it together. 4-link in the rear. Again, the plastic and everything, the quality is just really nice. All of the hardware is nice. I did actually take this plastic trim piece off of this headache rack, or cab guard if you want to call it, to drill my holes for this. This is a solid piece of plastic. They did not skimp on it anywhere. The cab is 2 pieces. The blue piece is separate from the black, and then the interior is its own separate piece. Again, the detail on the chrome is just really well done. This visor actually would look a lot better without dog slobber on it, but it's got a real nice chrome finish to all the parts. Separate windshield wipers. And again, kind of hard to see in there, but again, really nice cab. Got silver backing, all of the color, both the black and the blue. As you can see, this is the interior tub. And I already have some wires for the headlights. As I did have a couple of you need some 5mm headlights, or LEDs for the headlights. All the other LEDs on the truck are 3mm. This is the first Redcat I have owned, and I have to say, I am quite impressed with it. The fit and finish of everything is super nice. Again, the plastics feel real nice and sturdy. The truck drives excellent. It actually turns quite a bit sharper than you think it does, despite how long it is. Now, I left this panel off as I already have put the 3mm LEDs in all of the marker lights for the truck. And again, Redcat did quite an interesting thing. It's got 2 screws that hold the lens to this bracket and kind of sandwich the Lex end between them. And then it just has a simple little fork. So you just kind of take this screw out, so you can rotate this out of the way, stick the LED in, kind of line up the wires in that fork, and then just tighten it down nice and neat. These are already installed on the truck. The ones for the headlights and the turn signals in the cab are not pre-installed, but it does come with them. And then the 3 LEDs in the back also do not have these little clips, but the truck comes with everything you need to put lights in it. And Redcat does offer a light kit already for the truck. I had heard someone say it was kind of a pain in the butt to put LEDs in the truck. However, I'm just not seeing it, because they did, to me it looks like they thought everything out so well. There's actually wire holders already installed on the bed even. I'll get you in here. You can see that right above the tires where you can feed some wires through. So they have really, I think, kind of thought everything through on the truck. I don't have anything readily available out here to put in it, or on it I should say. I do got some weight. We'll put 8 pounds of lead weight and whatever this hammer weighs on the truck. So 4 2-pound things of lead weight and that hammer. I mean, lifts that fairly no problem. Again, as stiff as those springs are, I think you could easily put 10 or 15 pounds on this truck and not have any problems with it raising and lowering. So we'll cut here and go to some of the outside driving I did do with the truck. I did have the wife's color shift power wagon be the model for loading and unloading the truck. And then we'll come back here to the garage and kind of go over what I'm going to do with it now that it's in my possession. So plans for the truck are we're going to switch over to a Spectrum DX5 rugged 5-channel radio, which I'm not sure if I'm 100% comfortable with this radio. It has a little more heft than the Redcat. and the DX5 I have. Of course, this radio does a ton more things than I actually need a radio to do, but I wanted a pistol grip radio to drive this truck so I can film one-handed a little easier. This has the touch button on the back, which I think I would have liked the one with the wheel a little better. But the radio will cover in its own separate video. Now, lighting the truck, I did not get the Redcat light kit because I wanted to put sound in this truck. There's enough room in here to put speakers, tons of lights on it. I mean, there's enough room on this chassis. Whatever you can think of, you can probably put in this truck. So the truck's going to have a ton of lights on it. I'm probably going to put some of these 5mm lights in the cab guard just for a little extra work light. I might actually put some in, maybe tap some of these holes out a little bit and have some lights shine up onto the bottom of the vehicle. I needed to buy some red 3mm lights for the tail lights on this truck, as well as some more 3mm amber lights for the two front turn signals and that entire panel on the side there. And then the reverse lights are also 3mm, so I got a little bag of those. I got all of the LEDs from Hobby Concepts, and I will put a link to that page in the description below. And I also needed a bunch of wire to wire up all these LEDs. And instead of trying to find multiple colored spools, I actually found some 7-strand sprinkler wire. This is actually for wiring up the solenoids in your sprinkler system, and most places sell it by the foot. So I was able to get 3 feet for $1.69 a foot, which is cheaper than any one color would have been in a 10-foot spool. So check your Lowe's, Home Depot, sprinkler shops. I got this at D&B Supply, which is a farm and ranch store kind of. So any place like that that sells sprinkler line or sprinkler supplies, you should be able to get this stuff by the foot. It is a lot stiffer than the LEDs that comes with, or even this ribbon cable. But this ribbon cable is quite small gauge. And all the places I could get tinier wire at aren't open after 5 o'clock on the weekday. And they're not open at all on the weekend. So to run all these lights, including the light bar, because I'm going to take that little switch out and wire it in, is a Bayer USM RC3. This is a light and sound module, and it also will run servos. It'll run up to 4 different servos. I'll have to wire it into the power. Speakers plug in, or will wire up into that, and then the ribbon cable is actually what runs all the lights. And these little guys, this thing can do so many things. It's really amazing at the Bayer Electronics how much this little unit will do. As I said, it'll run 4 servos. It is, I believe, S-bus capable. They have an infrared controller for like doing trailers, Bluetooth module you can plug into this thing and run all the functions off of your phone. It'll run up to 8 different props. And then it has 16 outputs for like lights. I believe the heavier gauge or the servo leads are more for like smoke kits and things. So this little guy will control all the lights, all of the sound, and because you can put delays and change the speed of servos, this is actually going to control the servos for the lay frame function. It'll also trigger sound when you raise or lower the truck. So I'm hoping that I can slow these servos down enough it'll actually drop slowly like the truck's on air ride, and you'll hear the air leaving the airbags as the truck lowers, and then you'll hear them inflate as the truck slowly comes up. Again, powerful little guy, and these aren't cheap. I got this also at Hobby Concepts, and it was $170 something. But again, it can do so many things. It's kind of a steal. I have the big brother to this in the Grand Hauler, which also has a speed controller built into it as well. Now, the truck does have, again, so much room. And I believe that they already designed it so that their light kit, I don't know if it's bolts in or if it'll just kind of, it's supposed to sit here on the chassis already. There is a spot for it. Plenty of room to, like I said, there's plenty of room on this truck. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do. So I'll be able to just double-sided tape this right here and run all of my lights and sound. I don't have speakers for this yet, as I want to put a little higher quality speaker in here. I don't know if I'm going to go between the gearbox and the servos, or maybe set them on top of the servos. Not sure where I'm going to put them yet. But I want to get a little higher quality speaker, or I might actually build a small amplifier so I can just run a little bit larger speaker than what this usually powers. I also need to build a speaker box for it, because instead of running one speaker, I would like to put two in it in a box, so it gets a little deeper sound out of it, as really small speakers are usually tweeters and they don't do bass very good unless they're in a box. So that'll be coming up here in a little while. Like I said, it just kind of depends on what I find and what I end up going with. I had thought about switching to a brushless system in the truck, but I think I'm just going to keep the Hexfly stuff in it for now, because it does drive nice. So the sound kit will go in here. I'll wire up all the lights. Like I said, the light bar will get wired to this. I could maybe run a winch off of this, but I'm not 100% sure. The other thing to keep in mind with this particular unit, the Beyer stuff, is whatever voltage you put in here is what it sends out. And all of these LEDs from Hobby Concepts I got are pre-wired with a resistor, so that the 7.4 volts from a 2S or the NiCad won't blow these up. And each light, either each individual LED needs one, or on the Grand Hauler, since I had some different brand LEDs, I just put the resistor on the ribbon before it got to the light. And that's how I step down the voltage. And as gorgeous as this cab is, I just don't think I'm going to be able to leave it the stock color. I haven't set on what I'm going to do with the paint yet. I am going to come up with a different visor. This visor does look nice. It's just not my style for kind of what I like. So I'm going to go with a little bit narrower one, and maybe a little less lowrider and a little more hot rod, I think. But the hood hinges and all the chrome and stuff, well, I'm going to tell you right now, the chrome looks nice, but I'm not a big fan of chrome. So all the chrome on the truck will be stripped and blacked out. Or I might also go gunmetal. I haven't 100% decided on that. I guess the other thing I didn't touch on was these are a nice firm wheel. And I don't know if they're glued. I think they might be glued. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear the glue when I squeeze it. So the tires are glued to the rims. The rims are really, really nice. All right, that's gonna do it for my first look and kind of overview of the truck. Redcat, man, they nailed it with this truck. The body looks nice. It is properly scaled to what you're supposed to haul with it. The crawlers look good on the back of them. I'm sure the lowriders look really good on the back of them. I've seen photos with both. The truck is just super nice. And again, this is the first Redcat I've had. And the quality of the Lexan, the panels, the plastic, the wheels, the tires, the shocks, I'm really kind of surprised. They've apparently come a long way from just being cheap rebrand to really doing their own thing and doing it really well. So you'll have to stay tuned though to see what final paint scheme, visor I come up with, and of course you'll also have to stay tuned to see how the lights are all wired up. Like I said, I'm going to put underglow on this thing. It's going to have a sound unit, and yeah, I'm going to go a little crazy with it. So be sure to subscribe so you can see how this thing turns out and all the other projects I'm working on. And click like because it helps the YouTube algorithm. So we'll catch you in the next video.